Hey there, this is Dr. Mohar with Team Chiropractic, and today we're going to be doing some spring cleaning, talking about how we can detoxify your home and your body. So did you know that toxins are all around us? The average person could be exposed to as much as 2.1 million toxins every single day. Some of these are within your control, like things within your house, your cleaners, but some are out of your control. So before we learn how to spring clean our body and home, we first need to learn where toxins are found. So common places in your food, within your water, in the environment around us, even in your cosmetics, your home household cleaners, and even the containers you store your food in. Virtually anything that we interact with on a daily basis could have toxins in them, leading to a consistent exposure to so many of them. You might be asking yourself, okay, so why are toxins so bad? Well, that's because they have a damaging effect to your organs, your enzymes, and even your DNA. There are many different kinds of toxins all around us that have different damage effects on your body, from disrupting hormones, increasing risk for certain diseases, impairing overall function. These and others are all important reasons to be aware of toxins and their damage to your body. It even goes as far as to affect things like cancer. Most people link their genes to cancer, and while that's not incorrect, only about 5% of cancers are directly genetically related. 95% are attributed to diet and toxins. So it's really important that we not only understand what toxins are around us, but how we can avoid them. And so today we're going to talk an awful lot about exit conventional. Now what that means is trying to exit away from the conventional way of living. Conventional products, conventional things that we do that might lead us to be exposed to these toxins. We want to get on the off-ramp away from those and into a cleaner way of living. So let's look at and expose the top toxins to become more aware of where they're hidden within your home and your environment. So starting with our cleaners. Conventional cleaners are loaded with a variety of toxin chemicals, including PERCs, formaldehyde, chlorine, ammonia, and so much more. These chemicals can be extremely damaging to your health. Research shows that they can be linked to cancer, hormone imbalances, liver damages, and more. We also need to look at disinfectants, the most common one being hand sanitizers. And they can also be loaded with chemicals leading from fragrances to artificial colors, propylene, and glycol, all which have different damaging effects on our organ systems and on our health. For our first exit conventional, I want you to pause the video, scan this QR code, and it's going to take you to a website with a whole list of cleaner alternatives and hand sanitizer alternatives that you can start to research today, incorporate into your daily lives, and get rid of the toxic conventional ways of doing things. Now, on to cosmetics. It's important to know that our skin is the largest organ in our body, and cosmetics are one of the biggest culprits for toxins in our everyday lives. In the report, Heavy Metal Hazard, the health risks of hidden heavy metals in face makeup, the Environmental Defense Coalition tested 49 different face makeup items. In the report, 96% contained trace identities of lead, 90% contained beryllium, 61% contained thallium, 51% had cadmium, and 20% contained arsenic. Yikes. Definitely not things we want to be putting onto our body, absorbing into our skin, damaging our health. And so for this exit conventional, just like the previous one, we have a QR code for you. Please feel free to stop the video, scan that code, and look over this list of hundreds and hundreds of alternatives that you can use to still make yourself feel and look beautiful, but not damage your body. So next, I want to move on to something called PTFEs, or basically Teflon. So Teflon cookware, while very easy to use, easy to clean, non-stick, when that gets heated up, the chemical PTFE actually leaches into your food. Exposure to this can lead to many symptoms, including fevers, chest tightness, shortness of breath, headaches, cough, chills, and a sore throat. Basically, your body's telling you it's fighting something it shouldn't have. A secondary source for these that's pretty common is disposable face masks. So if you are someone who opts to use a face mask for health reasons, definitely recommend going towards a cloth, not your traditional disposable ones. And as far as your cookware, for this exit conventional, stainless steel is a great alternative. It's safe, easy to use, cooks very well, and it's not going to put toxins into your body. So I want to talk about something called microplastics. Microplastics can be found in many different storage containers and surgical masks, as well as plastic grocery shopping bags. They can also be found in our water. One literature review estimated that the average person drinks 1,769 plastic particles from tap water every single day. The Norwegian Institute of Public Health found that 90% of those tested between 2016 and 2017 had 8 different plasticizers in their urine. Plasticizers are colorless, odorless chemicals composed mainly of phthalates, and they are used to change the elasticity of materials like your storage containers during the manufacturing process, allowing for all those different shapes and sizes. The problem is all these things, especially with containers, when you reheat your food, will leach into the food and eventually make its way into your body. Researchers have shown this time and time again. So an alternative to this, as far as storage containers, would be your Pyrex or your glass containers, although they're a little more expensive, a little more cumbersome, a much healthier alternative for the long term. Trying to avoid using plastic wraps to wrap food, frequently dusting and vacuuming your house, and of course reusable grocery bags to avoid that contact of direct plastic to food over a long period of time. So circling back to water again, you expose yourself to an average of 25 gallons of toxic water in a given week, and your skin will repel about 75% of these toxins. However, the other 25% does get absorbed and enters your body. Our tap water specifically, we use that for brushing our teeth, washing our hands, showering, sometimes drinking as well. And the EPA found that tap water contains over 84,000 chemical additives, ranging from pesticides to chlorine and VOCs. In fact, a 15-minute shower is the equivalent to drinking 8 glasses of harmful water. Think about it this way. Hot water produces steam, you inhale the poisons too. Steam facilitates chloroform and TC absorption, and this causes cancer. So we really want to look with our water, one, when we're drinking water, always filter tap water through a secondary source, and ideally, perfect world scenario, a shower filtration system, or even better, a whole house water filtration system, just to make sure we're weeding out the things that the water treatment plant wasn't able to do. So toxins can also be in your food. Many boxed and processed foods contain a variety of toxic chemicals that are very harmful to your overall health. The best way to avoid this, eating quality whole organic foods. When you're shopping, try to stick to the outsides. You avoid the insides with the prepackaged, processed, preserved foods. Those are going to contain things ranging from monosodium glutamate to aspartame, nitrates, dyes, refined oils, all things that your body's not meant to have, not meant to process. As Dr. Dada always says, eat off the vine. Now, with fish specifically, there is a phenomenon called toxic bioaccumulation. This is where the higher up the food chain your food gets, the more toxic it is. Here's an example. You have a very small fish consuming toxins from water. Even if they're living in relatively clean water in the wild caught, there are still some toxins there. Not a big deal. But that fish gets eaten by a bigger fish, and then that fish by another bigger fish, and so on and so forth. And every time a bigger fish eats a smaller fish, not only does it have toxins from its own environment in this body, but it takes on the toxins from the smaller food. So the bigger the fish you eat, the more toxins you're accumulating and consuming yourself. So when eating fish, look for cold water, wild caught, and small fish, such as salmon. These are going to provide the most benefits with the least amount of toxic side effects. So we're going to switch gears a little bit to your mindset. I know what you must be thinking, what does my mindset have to do with toxins? Well, have you ever heard of something called toxic negativity? Toxic negativity is where negative thoughts directly impact your brain and its function. Studies have shown that toxic negativity can not only affect your mood, but can also affect things like your blood pressure, your heart rate, essentially hurting you in the long run in your health. And to that point, one of the big ways that we see nowadays that toxic negativity gets spread is through social media. Looking at negative posts, people attacking each other, it's just a bad place to be. And even though there are some good things with it, we really want to recommend trying to steer clear of those negative places. Don't allow yourself to get drawn in. So with oxygen and exercise, we know it's very important for your heart, for your lungs, for just general health. But do you know it's also good for detoxing? We lose toxins like BPA and PCBs through our sweat. So just breaking a sweat alone can help you to rid yourself of things that you may not have been able to avoid. For more information on exercise, we always recommend looking at our exercise workshops. We have a couple of them as far as how to actually implement that. But just know as long as you're sweating, you are letting those toxins out of your body. And then finally, I want to circle back to the most important thing, and that is, what is good health? Being healthy is not simply feeling good. Being healthy is functioning at 100%, your maximum version of health and function. And the only thing that controls that, the number one component, is your spine and your nervous system. Look at it this way. We know we need food. You can survive a month without food. Won't like it, you can do it. You can survive days without water. Again, won't like it, but you can do it. You can even go a few minutes without air. But if you cut off your nerve supply, that's it, instantly. So we have to make sure we're not forgetting to take care of that and not simply judging by how we feel. As chiropractors, we know that you can be subluxated up to 90% on a nerve without feeling it. All the while, your health and your function is suffering. So never judge your health by how you feel. Judge it by, what am I doing to promote my health? And that's where our 6 essentials come in. They're very simple. It's taking care of your mind, taking care of your spine, eating right, exercising, getting good rest so you can recover your mind and your body. And then, twice a year, do a formal detox to help rid yourself of what you couldn't avoid. If you follow these 6 steps, no matter what your issues are, you will be your best version of health. So guys, as always, if you have anyone that you'd like to refer to our office, they can be seen as a new patient, exam, x-rays, first adjustment for $47. Of course, if they watch one of our workshops, like this one, bring in that sheet to the new patient exam, they can be seen absolutely complimentary on us. It's a win-win, good information for your loved ones, and a good way to start their health journey. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you learned something good, and we'll see you in the office soon.